Hi, welcome everybody to another episode of Recap with Mac for the week of August 15th, 2026. Before we get started on advocacy updates, Mac, I want to give you a shout out. Happy early birthday. Happy 76th
Yes,
Thank
early
happy
you.
birthday.
birthday.
Thank
Can
you.
I finally say it without your wife getting mad?
It's just,
This man is pushing 80.
I've turned that corner, haven't I? So I'm
No,
pushing
Yeah.
80.
not yet, not yet. You're the same age as my father-in-law, so you're not nearly there yet.
Okay. Well, thank
But
you. Very
yes,
kind of you.
happy early birthday, Mac.
Thank you.
Do you want to go ahead and answer this, Mac? When Mac gets a chance, has Mac spoken with Dr. Goldstein, the DOH commissioner that told Massachusetts governor to schedule kratom?
We have not yet. We're hoping to have a discussion both with the governor's staff, which we've started. We've had a preliminary conversation there, and we hope that we'll have a chance to talk to the Department of Health people because we need to understand exactly what data they relied on. And I think we can help them once we get an idea of what that is and point them in the right direction towards scientific information. What we believe is the case is that the scheduling here is really at the behest of and information provided by Andrew Kolodny. Andrew Kolodny worked with the governor when she was the attorney general of Massachusetts, and they sued Purdue Pharma. And that's fine. I mean, but that's the relationship that she has and probably relies upon him as a subject matter expert, which he now purports to be. Because as we've discussed before, this is a guy who will stand before a legislative body in the various counties in New York, and he'll say two things. Every patient that I see, now that I've returned to my treatment practice, is addicted to kratom. That's what he says. And then he let the real problem slip when he started to describe his practice. And he said, well, what I do is I consult with physicians who've already screened a patient and they have self-identified as being, an addict of kratom. And he comes to their bedside in the hospital and he consults on these cases. That's not a treatment physician of people coming in and him diagnosing them, and then randomly they might have a kratom dependency. He's only seeing patients who have been pre-screened by other doctors who have self-identified. This guy, in my opinion, should be held in contempt by these
Yeah.
legislative bodies because he's deliberately misleading them. He can get the Senator Mike McKell Award for deceiving people in the legislature. I mean, this is bizarre, but I think that the governor probably relied on some advice from Dr. Kolodny. We're going to explore that further. Certainly, we think that we need to do everything we can to educate the policymakers in Massachusetts, but we're obviously going to have to litigate this matter. And that's really unfortunate because we're back in that game. But we did it in Florida and we're successful. We've done it in Ohio partially and we're successful. We're going to have to do it again, I think, here in Massachusetts, at least to get the attention of these public officials. Now, the legislature is an entirely different story. They had passed a Kratom Consumer Protection Act out of the House. It was in a conference committee. And the governor did not consult any of the legislators about this, as we've been able to tell so far. So more work to be done there, and people should just stand by. But this was something we did not anticipate, had no prior word on. They just jumped in, and there might be some of these governors are just reacting to this wave that now seems to be building of anti-kratom sentiment, and so we might see more of these. And we'll just have to stand by and deal with each one of them as they pop up.
Sorry.
Yeah,
My dog's
I
barking.
definitely wasn't expecting the Massachusetts. Well, I
Yeah.
wasn't surprised, but it's just horrible. Like
I
I
mean,
just hope
all the board of health hearings that we've attended, we knew that this was there was a bigger picture going on.
yeah,
What they were trying to do was there was like 350 board of health in Massachusetts, And what they were trying to do was get to at least half of those, so that when the bills go to state legislature, they could say, look, these Board of Health look at kratom as a public health emergency,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so
Exactly right.
A year, every single week, if not one, multiple every week over a year.
Yeah,
I
over a
was
year.
I feel defeated, but at least we know we tried.
We
Yeah,
definitely
well,
tried.
we're gonna be in there fighting, and I think we have a better than decent chance of getting this reversed, either through the legislature or through litigation, where they're forced to listen to us and come to an agreement.
So the other strategy, in my opinion, is they're trying to bleed the AKA dry of money. They're trying to cut the head off the snake, or whatever, however you want to look at it. They want to think that you guys are just gonna run out of money and just bend over and take it.
Yeah, well, that could happen, obviously, and
Yeah.
and that we rely upon consumers to help us, and companies that have an interest in being regulated properly to help us. So we really need people to step up, because it's more significant than we saw in 2019. I'm sorry, 2016, because in 16 it was just the FDA not using good information to recommend the scheduling to the DEA, and they repeated that obviously in 2018. But today it's all over the country. You as you described in Massachusetts, you have hundreds of local boards of health doing the same thing, and you're seeing that replicated around the country. So we've got to rise to the occasion. We've got to fight, because ultimately this comes down to two important factors. One, you have a substance in the form of a botanical supplement that has a proven track record of safety, buttressed by, even in product formulations in the United States for raw leaf kratom products, that's been accepted by the FDA and by NIDA as being safe for people to use, and obviously limited by the labeling instructions. So I think that we need to take that platform and push it hard against these anti-kratom people that are saying, oh, kratom is addictive, that it kills people, and that it's an unsafe product. And we know that that is not true. And you've got the anti-kratom array of people out there, the Patty Wheelers, the Mike McKells, the Dean Francis charade, and you've got other people that are joining that bandwagon for other self-interest that are involved.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the addiction recovery centers are transparently have a financial interest. So the old adage of follow the money, that's all you have to do with the substance abuse centers, and they need to be put in the proper perspective, and we'll see how the science falls out at the end. And here's a good example of how we can make a difference. In North Dakota, in Bismarck at the Capitol, we had a hearing with the Kratom Working Group, and we had the governor having put out a ban on kratom, ban on 7-OH immediately, and then a ban for 30 days on the sale of kratom products in the state of North Dakota. And you have a working group that was led by the person who went to the governor and collaborated with him about protecting consumers. And the bills there were 4 bills, 3 of which were from members of the working group, and one of which was a legislator who watched the working group. And those 4 bills that have been proposed for consideration in the special session in the first week in September, none of them is a total ban. Now, that tells you a lot. Now, what happened? What happened?
They listened.
They listened. And this is where we can make a difference. And I'm not talking about the charlatans, by the way, that say that they're great kratom advocates. I looked closely. I was watching because I knew she would be there, and that would be Robin Graham. I knew she would be on the virtual testimony because she says that's what she does. And I certainly expected Madeline Sklar to be there, because she's the premier advocate in the country for kratom, and she says it all the time. And I didn't even see her there. She wasn't even there to defend 7-OH, which is what she does. And I mean, it's bizarre. So, but the people that were there, you saw Jack Henningfield was there to explain the science, and I think he was very persuasive. You had some North Dakota people that were there, that really spoke up. I didn't agree with everything that the North Dakota retailer, the vape shop owner, said. In fact, I disagreed with the part about 70H,
Yeah, me
but
too.
Yeah.
he still made an interesting case. And then you had an African American guy that stood up there, and
Oh,
he
I loved him.
just said, I just started looking into this because of an interest I had for friends. And
Yeah.
he did his research, right? So that was fabulous. And then we had we
The
obviously
veteran
had
on the call.
the veteran Laura Romney. I mean, these people showed up and gave information, and it was and yes, Misty was there. Sorry, I thought you were Madeline Sklar for a minute, Misty. And then I realized,
Ah, hell
no, wait a
no.
minute, that's Misty. Sorry, just a joke. So here it is. Here it is. And they're over there on their other podcast saying, oh, we got mistreated by Mac Haddo again. Well, here's more for you, Madeline. You are a scam artist in the Kratom community because, in my opinion, you are out there parading around as if you're the premier Kratom advocate, and you don't show up anywhere, and you undermine virtually everything that we do along the way. So that's more fodder for them to beat up on Mac. Great, no problem. I can
Don't
take it.
steal my advocacy. Don't steal Jen's advocacy. Don't steal Mac's advocacy.
Yeah,
Right,
go ahead
and
and flip that up too. Add it to your little clip. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
go ahead.
Let them do it. Let them do it. Give them something to chirp about, and it gets old after a while. But it's about results. It's not about rhetoric. It's not about what you say. It's what you do. And I was so proud
Exactly.
of the people that showed up there, and I was equally proud of legislators who actually listened. And when Jen spoke, and when Misty spoke, and when Laura Romney spoke, and the vape shop owner spoke, and the fellow that was just there, just having learned about Kratom, defending his friends, they listened. So that was fabulous. And now the challenge is going to be that in the first week of the session, we're hopefully going to be able to, between now and then, work with the governor to get him to a position where he can accept a reasonable regulatory framework, because that's the name of the game. And I emphasize there in North Dakota, and I'm more and more convinced that this is going to have to be where we go going forward. And that is, you have to give the enforcement tools, the appropriate tools, to the state agency that is tasked with regulating it. And, I know, and it's been a big problem for us for the last 10 years, or last 7 years. Some of these states there, and it happened in North Dakota last year, the health department came in and asked for this huge amount of money. I think it was $1.5 or $1.6 million in North Dakota. In Florida, they asked for, the first ask was $20 million. They're just looking to build their fiefdoms. They wanted, they said, well, we're going to need more lab space. We need to buy a new building. We need to build a new building. We need to buy all this new equipment. And, they layer one bureaucratic kind of demand on another. And then I remember the classic was, I was sitting in the governor's office in Colorado with Governor Polis, who prior to becoming the governor was a member of Congress who was a great proponent of Kratom. And I think it was the Department of Regulations that had this huge ask. I think theirs was like $3.5 or $4 million. And I was objecting to it strongly as being unneeded, overreach. You didn't need to have this group of inspectors going out, because for the purposes of controlling sales at the point of sale, you already have the infrastructure in these states in place to control alcohol sales at 21 and cigarettes and that kind of thing. So I think this is the kind of critical stuff that we need to do. And
Is that an important call?
No, that's right. And so the point here is that these agencies are always looking to build their fiefdoms, but we offered a reasonable plan. And in the proposed legislation, there's one of the bills that gives them about $230,000 or $40,000, gives them 2 FTEs. Great. Let's do that. And let's put an excise tax or increased sales tax on the products so that it does give the agency the ability to actually regulate the bad products. And by the way, we need to do that. We're seeing more and more of this nonsense coming on the market in the form of 7OH and now the follow-on products, led by those advocates who say, oh, we just need to let everybody have whatever they want to buy. And, who are we? Well, there's laws, and that's what we need to do. So I think I'm optimistic that North Dakota can become sort of our benchmark to show these other governors in these other states this is the way you can regulate it appropriately. And I'm almost grateful now that we're going to see that special session because it'll let us resolve this thing quickly. Governor bans it, the state legislature does this, the agency is happy because they got the tools that they need, and we have an actual case history of
Yeah.
how we can do this. So I think that was very, in retrospect, it's very good. It's not hard. I mean, it's not easy rather to get to the capital of North Dakota. When I was trying to leave, I got two flights canceled. I had to delay one because of an important Zoom call, and then I had two flights canceled. So I spent an extra day and a half in Bismarck, and it didn't get any better during that stay. But I did find one restaurant that was pretty good. So anyway, this is one of those things that we have to do. We have to be on site. We have to be there. We have to be present. And I am grateful for those that took the time and the effort to do it, Zoom in, and those who were able to get there. It absolutely worked fabulous, no question.
Well, I have to say, after that first working group session thing they had, and just hearing from the legislators only, I told my husband, I was like, looks like we might be packing our bags and going to North Dakota.
Yeah, because
Because
the
it just
first
seems like
session was
they have their heads
amazing.
on straight. You know,
Yeah.
they're actually making decisions for their constituents. And I hope that's the turnout. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, and every state will have our detractors who are there, and we have one in North Dakota that is thankfully has a sort of a background with other legislators, so they know who she is, and they know that she's probably not the best detractor for them to listen to because she has a history with them, and that comes with the territory. But we have to be prepared. We have to get our message out, and we have to make the sacrifice. And that's the word. It's a sacrifice. What you and Jen do every week here, and what you do, you don't just do the the cool thing. You're up there, you get your faces and your voices out in front of the public, and everybody goes, oh, this is really great, and you're out there working, which is different than the 7OH gals that are over there. And with one exception, I got to give her credit. Well, two exceptions. It's certainly not Madeline, and certainly not Robin. Robin, she somehow can't find her way out the front door, or to get on an internet call. She can do it for 7OH gals, but she can't do it for Kratom. But you got to give at least some credit to Amanda Rayner because she showed up at a hearing. I don't agree with her at all. I know in my opinion, she's a pretty mean-spirited person when you read the comments in the social media posts.
She's scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's out there, but she showed up. So you got to give her credit, and I think Winkle showed up, and hey, thank you. At least get your voice heard, and if you have a different point of view, that's fine too. But bottom line is that their actions, I think, not the 7OH people threatened the access of every natural leaf kratom product consumer in America because of their behaviors, and their behaviors cannot be excused by anyone, including the 7OH gals, to say, "Oh, what's on the market now?" So we're not saying that what they did was right. Well, if the law says that you cannot enter the marketplace without a reasonable basis of safety under conditions of use, and demonstrably you did not follow that, then you are illegal. You have to be taken off the market. So whether it's taken off by statute or whether it's taken off under the Controlled Substances Act, that you earned that. You earned the designation. You earned the fact that you didn't submit science, and now they're actually buying into what Vince Sanders said from the beginning. Oh, we didn't do any science. We didn't bother with that that stuff that you have to do to get on the market. We let consumers be our guinea pigs. And now the 7OH gals are actually buying into that. Oh, well, let's just these people are now hooked. Let's let them continue to buy it. Otherwise, if you prohibit it, they'll go to worse things. How about they come back to natural kratom leaf products? How about that?
How about that?
That's the solution. But
the continued rhetoric and the hateful comments and just the whole, it's like they waste their entire day just going off on X and calling Mac names, and it's
Reddit.
It's crazy. Like, dude, if they really, again, I know I say this every time, but it's like if they really thought that was just going to sit around on the shelves continued to be called kratom, and just, nobody was going to do anything about it until the AKA came along, and we deserve to all have kratom taken away for that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say that all this blaming that they're doing now, saying, "Oh, this is because of AKA that did this." I grew up in Pittsburgh in a pretty rough neighborhood, and when someone came up to me and told me something that was a bald-faced lie, and it was frequent because I lived in that kind of a neighborhood where everybody was trying to juice you a little bit on something. At some point, you had to recognize the fact that a bald-faced lie, that whatever you're being told is being told to you by a bald-faced liar. So I'm going to say it. It's just flat out true. For Madeline Sklar or any of her people on her podcast to say that the AKA is responsible for any of these local, state, or the federal bans on kratom, or on they're coming up now. That's not true in the federal level, but it is on the state and local levels, is not true. It's a bald-faced lie being told by bald-faced liars, because they need to say this. They need to say, "Oh, we got to blame them," because we can't blame the people that put these products in the market in the first place. And by the way, they're not new. And I hear this from Amanda Rayner all the time, and I have told her and explained to her a number of times, but she doesn't care about the truth. But we fought back on kratom extract that were inappropriately marketed and formulated. We did, from 2019, said you cannot use any of the solvents that you design and then build an extract on unless it's an FDA approved food grade solvent, right? That's what we said from 2019. We fought against these chemically manipulated and juiced up extracts. And those extracts, by the way, are responsible, in my opinion, for the deaths that we're hearing about that were kratom only prior to 7-OH. And guess who was making those juiced up kratom extracts? Same people are making 7-OH.
Yep.
They just found a better formula. And you know what happened when the 7-OH people came on? All the juiced up extracts kind of went away.
Yep.
So
I hardly hear anything about extracts anymore. Ever.
Oh.
Ever.
You'll hear the 7-OH guys, they sit there and they say, "Well, why wasn't Matt complaining about the extracts? Why didn't we hear that?" What are you talking about? I mean, we devised the KCPA around the foundational principle that we recognized that 7-OH was a problem. We limited to no greater than 2% of the overall fraction of the alkaloids in the product, and we limited extracts to use FDA-approved food-grade extracts. And here's the problem. When they use these very powerful industrial-grade chemicals to extract in a very high dose level metrogenine, there's also other things at play in the artifacts and in the sort of the interactions that occur with those solvents. We don't know what all they are, but when a medical examiner or coroner does a tox screen, they're not testing for any of that.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking at metrogenine. And what they found is so this is the question. Can you take a product, a kratom product, and 4 days later have a 3,200 or a 4,000 or a 5,000 nanograms per milliliter level of kratom metrogenine in your system? No, you can't. You were using and consuming a juiced up kratom product that should have been illegal, was illegal in the states that they'd adopted our KCPAs. But the people that are the imposters in all of this are those that are sitting around, and it's not just the 7-OH gals, by the way. It's a lot of other people who believe their nonsense.
Anybody that supports 7-OH at this point, anybody that supports 7-OH at this point is the imposter.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. I could not have said it better, Jen. And here's the beauty of this. If they want to buy into the fact that the 7-OH people emerged on the scene, let's say it's 2023. I think now that we're seeing more evidence, it's 2021 when they were first tinkering with it. It was their big market splash in 2023. No science, by the way. They were doing the same thing to the extracts on kratom, and that's why we see all of these people thinking that it's true. And I don't doubt their sincerity. They happen to be sincerely wrong. These people that are saying, "Oh, the medical examiner told me it was just pure leaf kratom." No, It was a highly concentrated, chemically manipulated, and changed the word 7-OH to an extract that should not have been formulated that way and contained very dangerous chemicals in it in order to get the metrogene to that high level and extract out all of the other alkaloids in the kratom plant. That was not kratom at that point any more than 7-OH is kratom today. So that's the clip that I hope Madeline will play next week. What we just went through. And Madeline, you are, in my opinion, lying to everybody when you defend the 7-OH industry the way that you've done. And you are lying when you say, oh, I'm not for the 7-OH industry. I'm not saying. I've had nothing to deal with them. She was on their advocacy webinars. She said, now she takes great offense that I ask her the question, are you taking any money from the 7-OH industry? I just ask. I don't have any evidence at all that she was, but I do know that kratom manufacturers have told me that in the past she has asked them for compensation for her to promote their products. So why wouldn't I ask the question? I mean, I don't even understand that. So but she's all offended by it and saying, I don't have, he doesn't have any proof I'm doing that. Well, that's different saying, no, I don't. But she's right. I have no proof. I just asked the question based on her past behavior in working in this industry. And I think that at a minimum, people have a right to know. And by the way, there is absolutely nothing wrong with her taking money from a 7-OH manufacturer to promote 7-OH products. Nothing wrong with that. But there's something wrong when you say you're doing it and you don't.
Right.
I don't do that, and then you do. I mean, this is all very confusing to people, legitimately. So just clear the air, Madeline. Just tell us what's going on. But I'll tell you what we do at the American Kratom Association. All of our records are public. You can go, and God love the people that pull down our 990s and make a big deal of them. We spend a lot of money defending the average kratom consumer. We do. And we work hard in order to make that happen. That's why I spent almost 3 days in Bismarck, North Dakota. There are times when we have to do a little extra to get the result, and we're going to do that and continue to do it. And those of you that are out there playing the game of saying, oh, 7-OH is just great, people now they're hooked on it, we can't take it away from them. I mean, all of these arguments, and I understand them, which is why we've adopted the position that, and it's been reflected in Senator Moreno's new bill, that we decriminalize in the Schedule 1 provision for kratom. We just decriminalize it and make sure that it's, the people aren't going to be held into a felony conviction because they possess a 7-OH product. But the people that are manufacturing it and distributing it and selling it, they are, and they should be. So that's just the way it is. And now our next challenge is to get in a federal level, a federal KCPA. I think the impetus for that will be because of what's happening in the states and what the federal scheduling recommendation will be. And we're hoping that the DA has finally concluded their evaluations, and we'll see the final scheduling recommendation published this week. Based on the latest set of rumors, we should see it here either this week or next. So, and it couldn't come soon enough because it will bring clarity to this issue. And I get it. There will be people in the 7-OH community that will be wailing and gnashing their teeth that, oh my goodness, do not blame anyone but Hart and Seven Hope Alliance.
Yeah.
Just look at it. Blame them for what they did. They deceived most consumers coming onto the market. They got them hooked, addicted to a full-blown opioid with all of the signature effects of opioids, and now they're suffering the consequences with the downside of addictions and unfortunately deaths. And that's going to have to be on their heads, not on ours, who are saying, now you've got to remove those products that are doing those things so they can't continue to bring more people in. And so I think that's the bottom line.
What about, I know that there was a couple people that reached out to me about the Congress bill, I guess that was introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Moreno's bill?
Yes,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Now, Senator Moreno's bill deals exclusively with the scheduling of 7-OH and some adjustments he wants to make to the scheduling recommendation that will ultimately be approved by and published by the DEA. But this is, Congress has the authority, as they gave the authority to the DEA to make these scheduling issues, they have the inherent power to modify them when they're issued. So that's what Senator Moreno's bill does. It brings more clarity to some of the questions about what the exact precise levels are of both metrogeny and pseudodoxil, of the trace amounts that should be carved out, and it carves out the penalty for possession, and not possession to distribute, but just possession for use. I think that's it.
Okay. So my view of that newest Congress bill is that it is a backup bill, because the DEA's notice of intent is only temporary scheduling lasting 2 to 3 years. But in my view, that bill is a permanent, set in stone bill. Am I right, or am I just a conspiracy theorist?
No. You're at the effect of legislation that Senator Moreno's bill, when it passes, will have permanency to it. It will replace the temporary scheduling. Typically, when the DEA does scheduling of these kinds of substances on a temporary basis, they only have to prove 3 factors of the 8. Then they have the 2 years, with the potential exception of another year, or in addition of another year, to permanently schedule it using all 8 factors. So this will bring to, as you've stated, it will become permanent at that point, and it will be the law.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not because of what Michelle posted up. It's not because of her view of, do you think the DEA's notice of intent is not going to be published? Because this bill has been introduced.
So in my opinion, Ms. Ross just has a hard time getting her arms around the truth and the facts. She's so biased by her efforts on behalf of the Seven Hope Alliance. And this was one where she was predicting months out this would never happen. This was just a pipe dream by the AKA. And then it got more intense when she realized that, the reality is going to set in, and all of her advocacy for 7-OH was going to come back and bite her hard. It has. And it is not because of her, by the way, but because of the people that had hired her to advocate in their behalf. Those are the companies that are responsible for the hellacious problem that are confronted by many 7-OH addicts today, because they sold them a full-blown opioid as it were a kratom product. And all of the arguments that Michelle Ross has made, and Jackie Subek and others, Jeff Smith, all of those require them to twist and contort the facts so hard in order to get to a conclusion that it's just not recognizable in a public policy perspective. These legislators want the truth, and the truth is out there, obvious for everyone right now on the federal level, that 7-OH needs to be scheduled. It has all of the criteria that are required for the temporary scheduling because of its chemical reformulation. And that's the distinction that's
anybody
necessary.
That's living in the real world that world. Anybody that's living in the real world and seeing the real life things that are happening can see that.
Anybody that doesn't have their heads fogged up with 7-OH chemical soup.
Yeah,
that's part of the tragedy, is that deception started with these companies calling it kratom. Yeah. And then they started saying, but it's the same as kratom. And that's where Miss Ross got into this. Don't you understand that kratom gets converted into metrogeny, gets converted into 7-OH in the gut? Well, actually, no, that's not an accurate characterization. It does at very low levels, so that you never get blood levels and blood plasma levels that match or even come close to the artificial, synthetic, chemically manipulated, whatever word you attach to it, 7-OH products, because that hits your. Now, again, they realized right up front that this was a problem, because if they just take 7-OH, your liver goes in full-blown attack crisis mode, fighting it. Kratom, it just naturally metabolizes it, right, over time. And 7-OH was a problem. So what did they do? They bypassed the liver. They went right to sublingual and chewable tablets, goes right to crosses the blood-brain barrier, blood-brain barrier. I still got this tooth that I'm working on that's going to be replaced soon. And that's not the only reason. I'm blaming the tooth. It's actually because I'm old and decrepit.
No.
But bottom line is, it crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it hits you like a opioid does. And the interesting thing that, and this gets really wonky, but Dr. McCurdy describes this very well, and he went through this process down at the international conference in February, that when you have a natural kratom leaf product, metrogene actually competes with the 7-OH on the mu opioid receptor. So it's creating almost a braking mechanism. And when you don't have any metrogene or you have such low levels, there ain't no break, right? It just zooms through, goes right to the sectors of your brain that cause that euphoric high and that get you into respiratory suppression. And Misty, I got to tell you, you are dead right when you point out to people that naloxone isn't going to impact natural kratom leaf at all, because it doesn't get to that sector of the brain. Right. And if someone is saying, if they're saying to Dr. Andrew Kolodny, oh, I'm addicted to natural kratom leaf, and he slaps them with naloxone, that's almost malpractice, because you don't need naloxone. It's not going to do anything for you.
You're wasting a good dose.
You absolutely are. And then he slaps them on, oh, I don't know, Suboxone. I mean, give me a break.
I cannot deal with that. I tell clinicians all the time, especially over there on LinkedIn, I'm like, putting somebody on Suboxone for kratom is like shooting a squirrel with an elephant gun.
Yeah.
You're putting somebody on a partial opioid that fully binds, honestly. You're putting them on that for food.
Yeah.
That does not, I can't grab, like, do you do the same thing for somebody who's addicted to coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. So just to recap where we've been here, we know that North Dakota is headed in a pretty good trajectory right now. We've got a battle in Massachusetts where hopefully we're going to be able to stimulate with the state officials there through litigation, which I think we're going to have to file. So we're working on that. We've done the same thing in Florida and Ohio, and with pretty good results. We're still working in Ohio to clarify that. The Florida situation is going to be triggered by a new rule that will be enacted by the Attorney General that will align with, or at least be generally consistent with, the DEA notice, on 7-OH. So we'll see how that plays out, and that will trigger another FTAX rule. So again, these battles come up. We've got a meeting in next week in Montana, where there's going to be a similar working group passing on. In that case, there are two bills, one ban and one regulation. We'll see how that plays out. We're going to be down in Georgia with Chairman Townsend, who is heading up the Blue Ribbon Commission on youth exposure to kratom. And I thought it was interesting that the chairman, who is supposed to be overseeing a Blue Ribbon Commission, whom you think would see the responsibility of being somewhat, balanced, is now putting out anti-kratom stuff on his Facebook page. I mean, so I'm on the agenda to testify down there in Brunswick, Georgia. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to calling out the chairman for, are you being fair or not? And I think we can show pretty clearly that he's not, that he's really just mimicking what his good friends Matt Wetherington and Eli Cohen are saying, and that's all he's about. And the most important thing that I want to convey to him is that, Chairman Townsend, we pitched you on giving the agency the enforcement powers that you are now crying need to be done, and that's why we have to ban it, because, as a matter of fact, you rejected it. And he did. He's the one that said that we couldn't have those enforcement powers because that wasn't what he was about. He was just helping out his friends in the trial lawyers group with Matt Wetherington and Eli Cohen there. So that was ridiculous, but that's the way it is. So we've got that to deal with. We're continuing to work with the California people to see if we can get some kind of resolution. If, and this is a big if, the FDA does what they say they were going to do following the scheduling recommendation being formally published on 7-OH, there was an understanding that there would be a correction to the FDA's website that would clarify some of the misimpressions that are the basis for the state of California and other jurisdictions that are using that as and that includes Ohio and New Mexico and a bunch of others. So this is something that we just have to fight back on, and the FDA will hopefully make those changes so that it gives us the tool to go in there and explain to legislators that the FDA simply used bad language in order to get to a result that confused people, and the confusion is the basis for it. And even if the FDA were used their authority or intended to say what they said, they did not go through the Administrative Procedures Act requirements for publishing a final rule that could be relied upon by anyone, including a state or a local agency, health agency, on this. So, I mean, that's we got lots of challenges out there, and we just have to keep fighting, because this is a war that we're in, and it is a greater magnitude, I think, than what we saw in 2016, because the battlefield is larger. And it requires more time, effort, money. It requires more advocates, and we have lots of places to be. And we just need to rise to the occasion. So every Kratom advocate needs to step up and help in that
real
way.
Kratom advocate.
Real Kratom advocates.
Not just somebody who's sitting around having a little gossiping circle and
well, they're not stepping up anyway.
Thinking that legislators are going to sit there and watch live streams like that. Yeah, no, it ain't going to happen. You move the legislation needle by being proactive, by having boots on the ground, gather up your troops, just like Laura, Jen, and I, we're going to do like a little advocacy training type webinar, pretty soon, because these state legislatures are about to be on and popping once again.
Yes, no question about it.
Exactly, Heidi. Dr. Heidi, in with that, we will rise. Yeah. I have this question for you, Cassell. She said, "What are you doing, John?"
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Wish I could get Arkansas on board with regulating kratom. I am doing everything I can to get the bill back on the pre-files in November. What advice do you have for that?
So one thing that will help, we obviously want to be back there. Our problem is with the governor. The governor shut us down after it had passed the Senate last time. So we really need to move the needle with her. One thing that will help, and it's an effort that we're really examining closely, is to challenge the decision in Wisconsin by the Controlled Substances Board to call all kratom illegal. We want them to go back and limit it just to 7-OH based on what the feds do. And here's the interesting thing. Most states have a provision that says the state law will mirror what the federal regulations, Controlled Substances Board substances are. That may be our pathway in for there to be a serious reexamination, and maybe the governor will be interested in looking at that position to see how it plays out. So that's some work we have to do. I know that the latest example of where Arkansas popped into the news was that pro basketball player that got stopped on a traffic stop, and they found kratom in his car, and he pled with them that kratom was legal. They nailed him with a felony charge, and then a short time later he's dead, and it's because of an overdose of cocaine and heroin. But maybe it was the kratom that was helping him with some equilibrium there, and that's tragic. But maybe that's a lesson that the Arkansas officials and the governor can take away from that unfortunate circumstance.
It was like, for weeks there, we were fighting with everybody in the comment sections about, them coming to the conclusion that it was kratom.
Yeah, it was just alluding. It was just all alluding to it was kratom. And it's like, this poor kid, I mean, he passed like not even 2 days ago, and there's people just posting about this story.
Right.
It's like, and it's like, I can't help but to think that either one, kratom was helping him because he was already suffering through heroin and cocaine addiction. Kratom was probably helping him for that. Or for two, he was taking kratom for his basketball injuries.
Yeah.
Or three, I just have this gut feeling in my stomach that he Googled kratom in Arkansas and probably saw Marshall Price's stories or the hashtags that we created for him and everything. And he was probably thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get 10 years in prison for this.
Yeah.
Then he probably went back to his original drugs of choices, which were heroin and cocaine. Because he was probably like, you know what, might as well go party it on up now. I'm going to get 10 years in prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, really tragic all around. And it's hard to unwind all of this, but we need to do it. We need to do the best job we can to get good information out there so we don't have a replication of these kinds of problems.
Yeah. Mike wants to know if you've heard any update on Illinois as far as like an emergency ban. Is there anything on the
So that could happen. I mean, inevitably, when you get a couple of governors doing it,
they got to one up each other.
Yeah. And so we'll just have to fight on all of these. We'll see how they pop up and if they do, and then we'll be there. And that's why I like the fact that we have a special session in North Dakota that will, take a ban, flip it to a good regulatory scheme, and then we can shop that as the model for what the states should be doing. But we could see governors do this, and it's politics, and we just have to understand that that's where we are.
Politics is such a game.
It is. It's like a chess game. And I'm not good at chess. I'm a little bit okay at checkers, but chess, not my strong suit.
Yeah, it's true. And it's what makes the world go around.
Yeah.
But there are times when it just needs to be fixed. And we're going to have to fix North Dakota, and we're going to have to fix the problem in Massachusetts. And we'll try to come back and fix it in Arkansas as well. And in Alabama, by the way.
Yeah. This is the mopping up the mess that I have to continuously tell people that say the AKA is the reason why the AKA is the reason why all the states are better creative now, because they went and spent millions on 708 propaganda. And I'm like, I sit back and think, y'all really think the AKA did that, huh? No.
Yeah.
The AKA and us real advocates, we are mopping up the mess from the mass destruction that 708 is causing from being mass produced to the public without scientific data.
Yeah, and they are in fact putting that nonsense out there to cover for the fact that they bear responsibility entirely for putting on a product that they claim was kratom, knowing it wasn't, and then promoting it as though it's just natural kratom, addicting a bunch of people. And now when they're caught, they say, oh, it was the AKA that did all this. The fact that we fought it, and we would do it again. If we had a chance to do this all over again, we would still be fighting it because it harms people. Yeah. Because it is a chemically manipulated, full-blown opioid, and that is harming people. So we wouldn't change. It is the mantra of the 708 people to try to blame us so that they avoid responsibility. Mm-hmm. And you, I hate to say it, you have to be pretty dumb to buy into it if you think through it. I get it that it sounds nice, and they're putting a lot of weight behind it. And a good example, the president of the United States in the Oval Office signing his executive order on addiction services made a slip of the tongue. And when asked about 708, he said, we want to get that natural 708 approved. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
No one with any credibility can say that he meant that it was that we were trying to prove the chemically manipulated 708. He said the natural 708. But the 708 people put more than $1.5 million behind a flight of ads targeting Washington, D.C., celebrating the fact, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for protecting 708. Natural 708. There never was an attempt by the president to protect natural 708. No.
Like, I'm sorry, natural 708 converts in my body via taking kratom powder. That's my natural 708.
Like, that was a big stretch when they started doing that. Like, and it was like right afterwards. Like, they immediately, anybody that believes the whole, I mean, think about how many lies they've told over the years. Like, the biggest one was like, oh, we have to market it as kratom. You know, the FDA, we have to. They're making us. You kidding me? And so when that didn't work, they have to change it. It's like just lie after lie. Who would believe? I don't know. It's just crazy to me that people even.
They're not following the patterns. They're not following the patterns. And I get so tired. I feel like a broken record, and I know y'all do too. It's just like I'm so exhausted from trying to tell everybody the damn truth, and they don't want to accept my truth. Well,
see, I don't consider it a broken record because I don't remember that I said anything yesterday, so it's all new to me. But it's still the truth, and it's still, in my opinion, a lie that they're peddling in order to continue selling a product that is dangerous. It's chemically formulated to be a potent opioid to addict people. That's just the way it was, and they are on the market playing their game. Yeah. They're on the market playing their game, and they're getting people however they're getting them there. Some of them are paid, directly, and some of them, I think, are probably being influenced because there's opportunities either out there currently or in the future for them, and none of that protects consumers. None of it. And they can cry all day long about the AK's position. We took our position in 2019, actually 2018 when we were formulating the bill. 2019 legislative sessions. How can you say that we could somehow see to the future and know that the 7-OH guys were going to chemically manipulate this product and make it into an opioid and kill people with it? How could we have known that? Well, we knew that they're the same people that are now doing that were in the kratom space monkeying around with the formulations of natural kratom and taking extracts and driving them up to ridiculous levels. And that's why I think it's hilarious and sad at the same time that you get people like Amanda Rayner and Madeline will sit there and say, well, why don't we hear anything about extracts? Or are you deaf, dumb, and blind? Look at 2019. We talked about extracts. We said you cannot extract except using food grade solvents. But when you're telling a lie, you don't want to refer to the truth or rely upon the truth along the way. So that it's just what they're doing. And it's sad.
Selective hearing.
Of course.
Recollection.
Yeah. And here's the bottom line. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it unless there's something in it for you.
Monetary.
You just wouldn't do it. Well, I don't know about monetary, but maybe it's fame and fortune. I don't know. In my opinion, no one can get to this point and defend this unless there's something behind it. Maybe it's they just dislike the AKA so much. Maybe they get off on that. I don't know. I know that it's tragic because whatever the motivations are, and whatever led them to this trough of drinking the Kool-Aid of the 7-OH people, it's harming people. That's the bottom line. And it's doing something else.
You want to know why they can't see it? Because they don't advocate. That's why they don't see it.
Great point.
Yeah.
What they don't see is the harm that they're creating for every natural leaf kratom consumer because they have the confusion that they've injected into this particular problem. This is a great point about Lydecker study where they found commercial kratom products with 7-OH in them. And that's what led to our part of our concern on it. So absolutely right.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All the way back then?
Yeah, in 2016, Dr. Lydecker published that study. We saw it, and that triggered let's get into this and make sure that we're not letting these 7-OH guys play these games. So
I remember Dr. Jack Henningfield at that congressional briefing in June, talking about him up there dancing around the mic.
I love that.
Him talking about how he warned everybody way back when, but I didn't remember the date.
Dr. McCurdy was on I can't remember what interview it was, but he was talking about 2021 or 2020. He had kind of had premonitions of it, so.
Well, and there are things that all of us can look back on and say, if we had the crystal ball, would we have changed it? Would we have done things differently? And we would have not changed. We might have been more precise. Instead of saying no greater than 2%, we would have said in 2018 no more than 1 milligram per serving.
Yeah,
we had no idea that these people get out and play these games where they chemically manipulate rather than just tinker with it. But hey, it's where we are. And we're going to continue to fight. And all of the naysayers and the detractors and the people want to say, oh, it was AK's fault. They're wrong. And they're demonstrably wrong. And when they say it, they're just being dumb about it because they're listening to the people that are peddling this nonsense that don't have any basis to do so. And the same way that they deceived you when they introduced these products, they're deceiving you now with this creative narrative to try to make us seem like the bad guy. I'm not out there fighting every day in order to create problems for 7-OH consumers. I'm fighting to protect natural kratom leaf consumers, and you are getting in the way because you want to defend a product that is nothing more than an opioid, and that just doesn't work in our world.
That really irks me. How dare you call yourself a kratom advocate, and you're taking the same leaf that we're taking, but you're being blind to the fact that 7-OH is what's dragged us down. I will forever say this, that it's wiped away years of advocacy. You know, like my whole Pompeii analogy, you know, the Mount Vesuvius blew up, the freaking pyroclastic classic flow come running down. That's the 7-OH, and it buried Pompeii. That's what 7-OH did when it came to market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I say this too, if you take, advocate, or associate with anything regarding 7-OH, you are responsible for the downfall of kratom.
Some of them love to hear that. And they're like, good, I hope it all gets banned. That's what you deserve. Get out of here.
Well, and that's a knee-jerk reaction from someone who just feels like they got burned. And I feel for those people because they're desperate, but they were put in a position where they have to be desperate by an unethical group of people who didn't care about what the rules were, what the laws are, and they just decided to juice up a product that would convince buyers to come in and, oh, this is kratom. This is a better kratom than I took last week. Because it's a chemically manipulated opioid, and that's the sad part. So we just have to do our best to get through that. The after the scheduling takes place and the supply of 7-OH products dries up, then I think there'll be two choices for people. They can make the sad choice of going to harder drugs, to that black market, because they're now, are the 7-OH manufacturers standing up for what they're doing right now? No, they're jumping to new products. They've already started reforming. You see them out there in the marketplace, and the DA is going to have to go after them, and they will, by the way, because now the scent is strong. They know what these people are doing, but that's these people.
The bloodhounds are tracking.
Right. These 7-OH advocates that are defending these shysters. I'm sorry. When you look behind you, they'll be gone. They'll be gone. They won't be there because they're off to something else, and you will be left there alone with all of the carnage that comes from having supported them in the first place and not being misled by them. You would have been safe. Now, the other choice is for people to go back to natural kratom leaf products and deal with the problems that now drove them to 7-OH. And if you want an affirmation of that, look at what NIH did when they published they announced their study for purified metrogenine as a potential therapy for opioid use disorder. Kratom can do exactly what we've heard anecdotally for the past 5 or 6 years, that it actually helped people wean off of the opioids. There will be, if the NIH study is successful, the identification of a chemically formulated prescription grade metrogenine product that will be available specifically to that targeted area of opioid use disorder. But in the interim, while that's being studied and all the results are collected and submitted, the pathway off of 7-OH is back to natural kratom leaf products, and it won't
backwards.
be exactly. And that's where they need to be. And when they want a solution, that's it. And they need to be as responsible as they can be to make sure that they don't go out on the street and buy heroin and cocaine, because you end up like that pro basketball player. You'll overdose and you'll die.
Brandon
And by the way, the responsibility for that is on you. It's not on anything that anybody else said or did in the end, because you now know, you're educated enough to know that the 7-OH guys, is wherever they might be when the end of this comes, they're certainly not going to have your back, and you need to now take responsibility for your actions of what you're taking.
7-OH shot itself in the foot, in the hip, in the head, in the arm, in the elbow, in the kneecap. 7-OH did you wrong. The industry did you wrong. And I'm sorry that you got duped into it. I am so proud of my followers that have been able to walk backwards off of 7-OH. Just the other day, someone commented who said, apologized to me She said that I am sorry that I even defended that industry. I had to get off of 7OH. I'm back on, plain leaf powder now. I am sorry for what has happened,
Yeah,
and that
I'm
right
sorry.
there.
I mean, I have respect for those people, and I have respect for the people, a lot of people here in the comments that come every day, every week, that are on the same side and see what everything is happening, and they're not
Well,
being
yeah,
duped, you
these
know?
are the real advocates in the comments. You
Right.
got Deborah here, you got Jeff here, you got Super Fun Quiz Time, you got Chad, who's this dude?
Oh, he's not. He's a 708er.
Oh, no, you in the wrong conversation, buddy.
Yeah, you came to the wrong channel, bud.
You got, Heidi here. I'm
You
trying
should
to
be
write.
over on the 7OH Gals podcast.
Yeah.
That's where you should be.
Change the channels.
Change the channel. Yeah. And then we got Connie. Connie has been fabulous in California. So has Regulate California now. I'm trying to give everybody a shout out.
So I had a call yesterday that was I was getting off the plane, and I was switching planes in Minneapolis, and this woman called me, and she introduced herself. She's from Massachusetts, and she said, "Well, I know this is the press number." She had dug around and found my number, thinking I was the press guy, and she said, "Look, I've been a Kratom consumer. It saved my life, and I don't have a lot of money." She goes, "Well, I want to send you a little bit of money to help with this thing." I mean, what a fabulous thing for her to do, and she was magnificent. And I told her that, look, send me your contact information because we want to get help up there in Massachusetts. And she said, "I'll do whatever I can." So that's why we do what we do, right? And then I had a police detective from Massachusetts email me, who we'd worked with before up there in Massachusetts, and he said, "Great that you're in there fighting it, and he's willing to help, and he'll be powerful testimony before the legislature." So yeah, we've got great advocates that we're going to be able to push forward on, and it isn't always the dark side. We actually have won many more battles than we've lost, and we're going to continue to do. Yep.
We have,
So I've got to run. My kids have planned a surprise birthday party for me.
Oh, you're not.
And so I
How's
shouldn't
it
say
a
that.
surprise?
Well, I'm supposed to. See, I know I'm going to a birthday party. My wife, as part of the ruse, she's taking me go shopping somewhere, but I know where.
Oh, I hope you have the best time.
I do too. I really do.
So, and a shout out to my mother. I was born on my mother's birthday.
Oh,
no way!
Yeah, and it was really an interesting situation. The day I was born, it was her birthday. She was in the hospital, and my father and my uncle had been in a barroom brawl the night before, and they were in jail. And this was a frequent enough experience, I'm told, that my mother was usually the one who bailed them out. And over the course of several of these fights, my mother didn't want to pay the bail money like she was having to do. She blamed my uncle for being the bad influence on my father. I mean, good for her as a wife. I heard later that maybe my dad was the bad influence. My uncle, don't know. But my dad gets bailed out of jail by someone else. He comes to the hospital, and my mother refuses to see him. So he wanders down to the nursery, and the nurses holds me up so he can see me. And she said, "This baby doesn't have a name, and it's been 2 days." And so my father, thinking that he's funny, he names me after the uncle that I was in jail with, that he was in jail with, and his name was Charles. So my first name is Charles. And my mother never let anyone call me Charles ever in her life. I had a school teacher that didn't like the word Mac. And by the way, Mac comes from McLean, which is a middle name, which is on my mother's side. My dad was at least smart enough to have a middle name on my mother's side. And I think I was in third grade, and the teacher didn't like the informality of Mac. And she didn't want McLean. She did for some reason. So she started calling me Charles. And my mother, I reported this, and my mother marched in and said, "You can call him anything you want, but you ain't calling him Charles." So,
that damn bad influence uncle, I swear. You always got that uncle in the family.
Every family's got one.
I'm telling you. And so that was how I got this name. But McLean is, again, through form, Mac has been my nickname ever since. But my mother was a warrior when it came to people calling me anything but Mac. And now I have my passport and my TSA check and all that, it's always Charles. And I laugh when people say, Charles, thank you. And they pass me through, right? Pretty funny.
Well, we call you Mac Daddy over here on these parts.
Yeah.
My kids have done that for years, so I understand.
Oh, that's awesome.
So thanks to both of you. Thanks to everybody out here. I mean, all the people that are giving us help. We appreciate it very much.
Okay.
And thanks for the birthday wishes.
Go pretend you got surprised.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks.
Bye, Mac.
Bye, Mac.
Right, see you later.
That
was
is
a
so
cool story.
hilarious. We always get little tidbits of his life story, and it's always funny.
Whenever I hear somebody call him McClane, I think about Die Hard.
Yes.
You know that movie's like crawling through the vents. I love that movie. Those movies.
Yeah, Chris, I want to give you a shout out too. You're out there doing your advocacy thing. Cassell, I think if I'm saying your name right, I hope I am. But she wants to get involved in Arkansas, which we desperately need.
Yes. Yeah, we
And
actually
Shannon?
were there last April.
Yeah.
Was it last year? It was last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when we found that, it passed. It was going to pass both the House and the Senate, but the governor was being a doo-doo head. And, she said.
You know what? The governor was being a doo-doo head supposedly by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Because that Department of Health lady got up there and testified and said, if this goes to the governor's desk, she will veto it.
True.
That was just word of mouth.
True. So we'll give her that benefit of the doubt. You're right, Misty. I just
It
have
said
a
like
hard
Castle. Oh, Castle? Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying Cassell, like gazelle.
Castle. Nice to have you though. And again, like me and Misty were saying, I think she got it up here. Get involved.
Yeah.
Email Laura and we're gonna do this advocacy
webinar.
thing. I think we should call it some like just advocacy. I don't know. We'll find something. I'm so tired. I don't even think.
I know you were just dropping your boy off at college, man.
I feel like I've been around the world, but
that dang kratom had you live long enough to drop your boy off at college.
Dang
it,
Governor DeSantis permanent. Oh yeah, the next governor. I mean, anytime there's a change at any new legislative year, anything can happen. So even if there is a KCPA, if there's a bill that's introduced by anyone, it can always be overdone. Yeah. But if like there's a bill signed, you got that year. You got that year where you're cool. I was gonna play. I have to go to the bathroom, but not Misty. Good Lord, see, I can't even talk. Heidi said this should be our theme song, so I'm gonna play this real quick.
Is it gonna make us copyrighted?
Oh shoot! I bet it will. I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, we gotta be careful with that because it might copyright.
You always think about it. I never remember the copyright thing ever. But yeah, I hadn't heard it. It's called Rise Up or something. So we'll have to listen to it afterwards. Yeah, dude,
Rhode Island was vetoed, but the ban still got overturned. Stand with Arkansas. Yes, indeed, Kathleen.
My father. I am so sorry, dude. I cannot stop. My father's name and my brother's name are the same, but my brother goes by his middle name.
What was that question you put up about DeSantis?
Who was that? I think it was Tracy Mike.
Dang it, I forgot to ask Mac about what was that? Remember last week, I think it was, where he was talking about the new product, 90H, or was it 13OH?
Oh, it was 908. 908.
I forgot to ask him about that.
All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You take this, or
Okay. Is the Kratom Protection Act signed by Governor DeSantis permanent, or can the next governor get rid of it and change the direction? We lost Ocala in Florida. Ocala is not lost, Tracy. I know that the mayor was wanting to talk about it again, but I don't have any update about when. You need to link up with Kibby at Muddy Lotus Tea Bar. You need to link up with her. Go to that kava bar. Because last time when the Ocala mayor did that, she brought a team of people, It was just fabulous to watch that. I know that when I went to Florida in February, it would have. I was like, that right there would have been a good opportunity for me to go to the Muddy Lotus T-Bar to go meet up with them and go give everybody hugs and all that stuff. But it was like an hour and a half away from where I was at. So it just, it didn't. It wouldn't have made. I mean, it made sense to me, but it wouldn't have made sense. Because I was at, where were we, Heidi? Orlando? Yeah, we were in Orlando. I wasn't sure. Oh, let me just take that question down. I wasn't sure if it was binding via the Florida Congress, which would make it binding, I guess you'd say. Thanks. Muddy Lotus T-Bar in Ocala. I was talking about Kibby.
Oh, Kibby?
Mm-hmm. Muddy Lotus Cava. Yeah, something like that. I don't know that. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, Muddy Lotus. John McClane. Yeah, John McClane. That's his name. John McClane. I forgot. I was trying to think of his name earlier.
Yeah, it's Muddy Lotus Tea Cava Bar. So if you're over there in Ocala, go visit there. Go see it. Man, they did such a phenomenal job when they got all the troops. They got all the troops to show up there at that Ocala meeting. This was what? Last year?
Back, yeah.
Or was it earlier this year?
I don't. It might have been earlier. It might have been earlier this year. I don't know. I feel like it was last year.
I'm going to look that up in my photos.
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah. Now I want to watch it.
I know. Like when Max said McClane, I was like, dude, every time I hear that word, I'm like, I haven't watched that in a minute.
I'd have to dig deep for that because I know it was a while ago.
I love that we're doing this Saturday catch up too, because it's like that Congress letter. I know a lot of the anti people have been spewing like, oh, this is what they, it's like, so it's nice to have Matt come on and just explain and calm everybody down, because there's just so many people that just spread stuff. They don't even know what they're talking about, whether they have, intentions of doing that or not.
Yeah.
So I usually don't even get worried about it.
Yeah, Tracy, they initially got the Ocala mayor to back down, but for some odd reason, just like a month or so ago, he brought it back up. He even did a whole Facebook video about it.
Yeah, because some kid supposedly got a hold of it, and then it was just one of those hearsay things, and and then it just sparked the whole thing up. And I think that was just a bullshit. There was no kid, that got a hold of, and if they did, it was 7OH. From how they described it.
Muddy Lover is a great name. That is actually a good name, but it's Muddy Lotus. They are such a vibe. If I had them, yeah, I didn't go. We didn't go, Heidi, either. But I thought about it. I was like, because it was like an hour and a half away from Orlando, and I was like, man, that would have been a good opportunity to go over there. Get my hug on.
Is this Heidi? Is this the song? I can't play it, man. I really want to, because I did do like a screenshot and copy the link, but I think we get like copyright violations, and they'll make us like take the whole audio down from our freaking whole video.
Yeah. If we were on TikTok live, we could play it anytime. Over there on TikTok, if you're on lives, you can play any song. It does not matter. They don't shut you down.
Muddy Lover sounds like something that'd be on SpongeBob.
I know, huh? Like a drink.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I want to check that out, though. Maybe we'll do it on our next TikTok Live. We need to do a TikTok Live instead of jumping on hijacking Jordan.
I know. Jordan is phenomenal. I love Jordan.
I love Jordan. I love him. And, you can feel his passion, especially with this BS after Massachusetts happened. We're all just fed up with it. We're all just fed up with it.
Mac repeated many of the lyrics.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody like I know it's not clickable, the link is not clickable on Facebook right now, but once the live stream is over, you'll be able to go click on Heidi's comment to listen to it. Our
Yeah.
theme song. I'm gonna listen to it after it's over.
Yeah.
Mel said she got a screenshot. Cool.
Okay. But yeah, if you guys want to get involved with
Yeah, you can say the name of the song. I think it's called Rise Up.
is it by Andrea Day?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I love that song.
Yes, yeah. Dude, I'm so stuck in like my oldies era or something. Like, I don't know. Is that a new girl, new person?
I don't know. I just remember I actually did a couple TikToks with that song before.
Did you? Okay. I think I know what song it is. I think if it's a TikTok, I always ask my kids, I'm like, is it a TikTok song?
Yeah.
I might know it then.
Yeah, it's Andrea Day.
Oh man, poor people in Massachusetts. I feel so bad for y'all.
I do too, but you know what? We're not done. Shannon, if you're still here, we got your back. We got your back. Like I said, continue copy and pasting the protectkratom.org/Massachusetts link.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much that helps. Like, you don't even realize how much social media stuff like that can help. Mm-hmm. Not going off on people and talking shit on social media like them keyboard commandos do, but just spreading good information.
You should pull that up. You should pull that photo you did up.
Hold on. It is good. It's good. So, like, all the it's recent, the last few years. Okay, if it's on TikTok, I know. Let me bring this up. Yeah, I had ChatGPT because I'm so tired of like getting on X and seeing all these people dude, they're hateful. Mm-hmm. They're hateful. They called hold on. Let me see. They told Misty how many times you've been dropped on your head, you moron, or something like that.
Some crap like that.
And I'm like, are you kidding?
You know what? It's like 9 times out of 10 when people start the name calling, I'll just block them. But sometimes I'll leave it up. I want you to see the hate that I get. I'm glad Mac leaves his up because if you guys ever want to go see the hatefulness of what Mac is getting right now, go to his X account.
It's horrible. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. Okay, let's see. I'm going to share my screen over here to X. Jan Pickleberry is my X name. I guess I'm going to go to replies. Yeah, look. That's what I imagine now. Like, every time I hear him like, oh, you shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Like, that's the dudes. Maybe they have more hair, though, because they haven't shaved in a minute.
They're over there opioid raging big time.
They shame themselves, dude. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yep, exactly. Regulate California now. You are absolutely correct. Nothing they say or do is going to get under my skin because, I take the higher road without being high.
I mean, the arguing is one thing, but I mean, at the end of the day, the people that are arguing is literally never done shit to help the movement anyway. Yeah. They just literally sat there in that piece of shit old ass room like that, just talking crap or
probably
whatever.
In their mommy's basement.
Right.
Smell like the inside of a belly button.
And so now they're like, I hope you lose Leaf. How many times So it's like, that's all that. But politics is always going to be in play. Like, that's just how stuff happens. Like, that is how laws get made. That's how they stay made. It sucks because politics totally sucks. But, as far as, the arguing, like, I'm tired of sitting back and not saying anything.
Since you're on here? Since you're on here? Oh, since you're on there? Go back there. Go back there. Let's go read Mac's comments.
Oh, okay.
Not Mac's comments, but, the replies that he's getting.
Oh, dude, it's awful.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. Let me go to my repost because I know I reposted some of Mac's stuff. Hey, there we are.
Hey, there's us.
Whoa. Whoa. That's insane. Okay, here's Mac. Here's Mac. There we go. It's bad. Like, it is bad.
Yeah.
Like, that is just like, it's really bad. So let's just go, let's say, let's try and find something that he posted. Can you remember one that's really bad offhand?
All of them. All of them. I'm dead serious.
Let's see. Let's find one that was like a lot. So we got this 7. This has 7. Okay, never mind. I may not have been the greatest. This has 16 comments. Why is I can't see all the comments?
Right. I don't know.
All right. It does this to me sometimes. I don't know if it's because I'm on the wrong. Here we go. Here we go. Here's one of them.
You don't find any of this ironic? Yeah,
this is one of them. Yeah, I love Kate too.
Yeah, me too.
It's good. Yeah, womp womp. Prohibition replaces safe substances with unsafe ones. You know, that's it. He has been kind of rude, but he's not disrespectful.
No, there's mofos on there.
Hold up. Let's go to Misty's.
And then it's just, the X comments are reminding me of Facebook, where I don't even get notified when someone's commenting, so I have to physically go into my things to
Yeah. I think was it this one?
No, I leave that bad boy up there so that anybody who comes to my page can see that KDA is being funded by anti-creative trial attorneys.
Man. Oh, okay. Here.
They're all talking crap under Jordan's video. But you know what? Go back up. Let me read what I wrote. I'm going to read y'all what I wrote because I meant every word of it. From 2016 to 2025, there were no Kratom state bans after the initial 6. Since 7OH flooded the market in 2023, we've lost Louisiana, Connecticut, Kansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, North Dakota, and Massachusetts. Ohio's still up in the air, lost a fuck ton of cities and counties. I'm going to throw California in too because of their Department of Public Health. Almost lost Utah, North Carolina, New Hampshire, Wyoming, Iowa, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Delaware, Idaho. I'm probably missing some. If you take, associate, or advocate for 7OH, your hoe ass is responsible for this shit. Us real Kratom advocates that follow and advocate for legislation, we know what the fuck is happening. We follow the bullshit ass patterns. Can you scroll down? You keep if you don't like cuss words and stuff, put your earmuffs on. You should have done that already. Anyway, if I'm here, you keyboard cuts and grifting gossiping bitches can go to 7OH hell with gasoline granny panties on. You want to play Jordan's video on what he says?
Yeah. I do want to say real quick, yes, he did mention Illinois. He said it's always a possibility, but he hasn't heard anything. Mike. But he hasn't heard anything. Here we go. I can feel it already.
Increase. You might be able to bullshit other people, but I'm not the one. Now, so many people are left behind. You are so incredibly naive and know nothing about the legal landscape of Kratom in the United States. People like yourself that don't understand jack shit always love to say, Kratom was always under attack.
Yeah.
We had 6 states.
Well, dude.
But it could just be my end.
Okay. What about now?
You are so incredibly naive and know nothing about the legal landscape of Kratom in the United States. People like yourself that don't understand jack shit always love to say, Kratom was always under attack. We had 6 states that already banned it. That all happened after the DEA said they were going to schedule Kratom in 2016. The DEA changed their mind, but those states followed through. Then we had a 9-year gap. Not one single state banned Kratom until Louisiana did in 2025. 9 fucking years of making progress.
Mhm.
Within a week span, we had 2 governors calling emergency schedulings. How are you this detached from reality?
Right.
Prior to 7-hydroxy on the market, we had to testify in 15 to 20 hearings per year. Last year, it was 300. That's a 14 to 1900% increase. You might be able to bullshit other people, but I'm not the
I
one.
am.
Now, so many people are left behind and have access to nothing because of your foolishness. You are
I
so
love you.
Yeah. Jordan is, just like Mac, just like everybody's throwing their gloves off, and we
Yeah.
are fed up.
Look, how fucking stupid are you? LOL. Every time you ingest kratom, you're also ingesting 7-0, but that's only trace amounts. Stop with the bullshit and lies. You know the shit that makes you feel good every time you take kratom? Yeah, that's 7-0H. The countless lies that kratom dipshits like yourself spew make me laugh. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Keyboard Commando entered the chat. He also said something about damn it.
Dropping me on the head.
I love Andrew. I love Andrew.
Yeah, me too. And Connor.
And also
Connor's
Connor.
good.
Yeah. There's a lot of where in the
Oh yeah,
hell
look at that. Shut the fuck up. That Jägermeister is what I'm gonna call that name. I don't know how to pronounce that. So
I think that's the one. 7-0 versus any opiate street drug is a complete safer option. I've taken kratom for 10 years. 7-0H for 3. Worst side effect was the cost and the constipation versus any opiate and death. People who want to ban anything like 7 are fools and deserve to have kratom banned too.
We hear that all the time. All the time.
Because fuck you banners. And also that was a stupid thing to say.
Yeah. The first one I read, I thought it said bananas.
Oh, it's not the main alkaline kratom. It's I wish I could find the how many times have you been dropped on your head? It's like whenever I try to go back to the comments, typical banner response. Oh, Stevie Cray is good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't but I mean they say some crap that's like, dude, how do you not see yourself as being unhinged?
I love Justin F.
Yeah.
I love Justin F.
Todd is the absolute king.
Todd, oh my God. You guys ever want to go see comment replies, go to Todd Underwood's X account.
Dude, he don't give a crap, dude.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if we could, we need to do like a thing about that one day and like just have like
I just took a puff of my cigarette.
Sorry about that. I should have said something.
No, it's okay.
Oh, my camera's off.
Since the freaking KDA members want to do a video clip of me when I was taking a puff of my cigarette back in October. It wasn't weed.
That's so stupid. It's,
I might smoke weed maybe once or twice a year now.
Yeah. Yeah, social media over there is brutal, dude.
On X, yeah.
Yeah.
X and Reddit are just... there's this guy or girl, I don't know, shit, going back and forth with me right now in a Massachusetts Reddit thread, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm walking away. You ain't gonna be an energy vampire to me today. You know what? I'm living life all happy and shit, Kratom got my back. I'm not even on Kratom today.
That's what they try and do. I mean, they try and just... They want to waste your whole day just arguing about the dumbest stuff. Yep. And just like when the name calling and stuff starts, I can't do that. Like, I'm just like, okay. I'll be like, whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy.
When they come after me like that, or Mac or you or anybody else, I'd be thinking the amount of time and energy and effort they put in to do all these name callings and stuff, they could have sent a bunch of legislators emails, But yeah,
I know that's right. Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's not like what we're at Kratom advocates. We don't give a fuck if you smoke a cigarette. We're not going around going, you're gonna get lung cancer if you smoke. Like, what does it matter what we do? I vape. Like, I don't care. I'm drinking a Monster Energy drink right now.
I got my little Mountain Dew can.
Yeah. So it's like, we
all have our vices.
Yeah.
But
we just want to keep Kratom legal. What does it matter what the hell?
It was crazy how
like they're pulling at straws trying to, you know what I mean?
Grasping straws, yep. Because they tried to say, oh, you just testified at a board hearing talking about you were drug free or something like that.
While they pop their fucking
Xanax and drink their Miller Lights.
And their wine. It's completely acceptable. Yeah, the ex-keyboard warriors are not going. They're not doing anything.
Oh, Mike, I bring that shit up all the time. All the time. I'm like, and then I throw in the whole fact that we've advocated at over 300 hearings how maybe 2 or 3 708ers showed up, but they also took kratom.
They'll be like, well, not every one of them's recorded. It's like, dude, if you have to sit there and say you were there, but it wasn't, come on. We know you weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I got my hair cut off, Lisa.
Yeah. She got the bob.
When I get some more energy, I'm going to do that bob thing. I actually messaged Mel the other day. I was like, we got to do the bob thing.
Do the bob trend.
Yeah. Her birthday was yesterday also. So happy
belated birthday.
It's birthday weekend, I guess.
I guess so.
Thank you.
Oh, that's coming from a hairdresser. Alicia's a hairdresser.
I didn't know that. Wow.
She has her own setup and everything, and it is freaking beautiful.
I've always wished I knew a hairdresser because, I'll always go to a different person almost every time, and this one was good. The first good haircut I've had in a long time.
You are correct, Regulate California now.
Dude, that's true.
KDA has a better showing at hearings than the 708ers. KDA also has a better showing up than the supposed kratom advocates as well. And that's pretty sad. That's sad.
I'm going to have to tell that haircut lady next time I go, I just had a professional tell me.
Yeah.
She was pretty, I am very happy with this one. You know what? None of us criticize the 708 consumers. There's a lot of them more duped into it. And they may not know how ridiculous the stuff coming out of the 708 industry's mouth is. But if you're just around for a little bit, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
They're spewing lies. Anybody that believes the stuff they say is just selective hearing type of thing.
Yep. Regardless if you blame 7 or the AK industry, doesn't matter. We're fucked.
Yeah, don't matter. So there's no point in going around and around in a circle.
I ain't circle jerking them.
Mm-mm. But it's it's like if you just in here they shot themselves in the foot. Who cares, But I'm also tired of seeing it and being passive and not saying anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm at this point where it's just if we're going down, I'm going to go down and say what I fucking want to say, period. So I'm tired of being nice and trying to be cordial and not starting drama or whatever. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it.
And,
because they know they don't, half the 708 people that do advocate when they do show up, they don't even mention 708 until the very, 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 or they'll say, and it's alkaloids.
And it's
they're not even loud and proud about I hate saying loud and proud now. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Mike.
That was, I'm not going to put that up here. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of chemicals coming up, they're, the cat's claw was just the beginning.
Yeah. And Leisha, I'm over the lies of propaganda. I am over the 708ers telling me or us that we are spreading lies and propaganda.
We said this I think it was last Saturday. Me and Misty, we are very long time former ex-kratom gals back when it was the kratom gals and not the 708 gals. But we left because just some differences in opinion is all I'm going to say.
We left because we started the kratom gals as it was supposed to be advocacy and awareness.
Yes.
And it shifted.
Yeah.
So we left and then it shifted even more.
And so, like, when we started doing it, our only days to do this was Saturday. Like,
Yeah.
everybody knows that, or everybody, behind the scenes knew that. So, I think someone sent us a clip of her saying something about like there's so and so many hours of the week. I don't know why they. It's like, dude, come on, lady. You know that we did it. I have kids in school. We both have a life, and we're advocating our asses off Monday through Friday at these
Monday through
hearings.
Friday.
Like, there's no way we could do it. So that's why it's the same time. And so that's just to clear the air about that. Like, there's no malicious intent or anything like that about it. It's just like the only time that Jimothy.
Do you
I
hear
hear
my cricket?
Jimothy. Yeah. Misty's
I hear him.
Yeah, Misty's got a cricket. We named him Jimothy.
Yeah, we named him after that short spine raccoon.
Oh God, yes. No talk screen, but they have, and it's Twinkle. You know what? Actually, I have to say, Twinkle and Amanda do advocate. Good for them.
Yeah,
But again, that doesn't.
Again, what you're advocating for is taking Kratom down. So
Right.
Not good.
But yeah, those are the only two that I've ever seen, besides maybe that one person that was in our comments that time was in, like, I think it was Philadelphia or something. I can't remember. But that's it.
And Venus has advocated a couple times too.
Venus has.
Yeah.
For Kratom.
Madeline, no.
No.
None. Not even when we were with them.
Nope.
None.
So I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm just tired. Like, I'm tired, and I'm tired of being, I mean, not being nice. I'm tired of being passive.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody should say what's in their mind and in their heart, and that's how I'm going to start being.
Yeah.
Instead of passive. Like, I've always been a truth teller when it needs to be said, and I think sometimes it's the time that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Venus, she not only has gone to hearings, but she has also advocated and Zoom calls plenty of times.
Yeah.
She has. So mad respect for that. I will say that. But
I will always give people credit when they go and advocate for what they believe in, but dang, do you not see it?
Yeah.
Like, do you not see that 7OH is why we even have to go advocate?
And if that is the case, why in the world would you just constantly attack other people that are advocating for what they believe in? That's almost as bad as KDA.
Yeah.
At least, like,
no. No.
Yeah, I took it back. But it's like, there's two things. We're advocating for our things. Why are you going to attack me for advocating for my thing?
Mm-hmm.
Period. It's not the same thing, and you can't make me think it is. Or, you can't brainwash me. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't be getting my ass up and advocating for something.
Yeah. And it's like...
Me too. I was sick. Like, I had so many mixed emotions about that Massachusetts ban.
I was pissed.
Yep.
I was really pissed.
It's all I could think about. Like, and I mean, Mike, you've been to some of those Massachusetts hearings, man. Like, we've been doing this for over a year, dude.
Yeah. He goes to all these. He's be bopping all over to.
Yeah, Mike be dancing on. Yeah. So if anybody has shit to say, I mean, Mike, he can call somebody out because he's back behind the scenes advocating. So I'm just saying, like, people need to start being called out for the shit. I'm sorry, that's just how it needs to be.
Yeah. And we kept tight-lipped for a long time because Jen and I left.
Exactly. There's nothing. I'll never. Oh, dude, I saw one of those HBO documentaries about chicken. I didn't eat chicken for years because I just. So yeah, dude, you can't unlearn it. Can't unlearn it.
God. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Well, Jen and I left. We left the Kratom Gals in May of last year. And we have been tight-lipped this whole time. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Since then, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about why the exact reasons why we left.
It's silly.
Because I'm not going to give you the opportunity to fix your fuck ups. I am not going to do that. No. But
Misty and I both are loyal to a T, and that's why one of the things that drew me to Misty, and why I'm glad I'm her friend, because she's one of the most loyal people I've ever met. I'm the same way. I won't even change my damn dishwashing detergent. If they don't have it at a store, I will go to another store. Like, that's just who I am, and that's how you surround yourself with the people that you want to surround yourself with, and that just we weren't feeling it.
We're not into advocacy to make money or to figure out a stream of income
or to be popular.
No.
Amen, Heidi. I tell myself that a lot, but then something else dark happens.
I know.
I do try not to be pessimistic, but I do know that at the end of the day, truth and goodness prevails. It just, the waiting before it.
Mm-hmm. And science.
Yeah.
And science has prevailed on 7OH, and that's another reason why they're not happy. Well, science on our side, because the 7OH still has not produced any science. After the billions they've made, they have not produced science.
Thank you, Leisha.
Yeah, thank you, Leisha.
We appreciate that.
And we're not in this either to divide people to follow us versus them.
I think it's good to open, and I think a lot of the things that Mac's been doing and just bringing stuff to light, I think that's the way that I feel like I need to start living. It's just bringing everything that happens and being completely truthful about it. Yeah. There is nothing wrong with the truth. There's nothing wrong with being transparent at all. And I think it's good. I respect that. And so I'm like, you know what? That's how I'm going to start doing things.
What Mac is doing by bringing to light what's going on over there is there's no lies detected at all.
Just being transparent.
She's going to make you think there's lies. There's no lies.
Yeah. I want to eat a big bowl of ice creams and listen to Maisie Star.
Who's Maisie Star?
You don't know who Maisie Star is? Okay. No. If you heard one of her songs, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Probably.
Yeah, you would. My uncle Paul liked her.
Let's see what Castle.
I just clicked off. Go ahead, Misty.
Dang it. Okay, so it doesn't bring up the full comment. I have been on literally 15 different prescriptions over the last 5 years, probably more. I don't need any of those now and have gotten the most pain relief I've ever gotten in my last 15 years in the pain management clinic. I can't imagine why I had to suffer so long.
Yeah.
I refuse to go back. I understand the passion. Thank you for all that you do. Yeah, girl.
That's exactly how I feel for so many years. For 20 years, I've had to deal with chronic pain. And like the past 7 years, I'm just like, dude, I will never go back. I will never go back to what I was before. I don't care. I just won't. And I will fight for anybody to not have to go back, for anybody who hasn't even found Kratom yet. And that's why I fight every day. Shit, I'm tired a lot, but you know what? I still get up and go.
Yeah.
I still get up and go because that's just the right thing to do.
Yeah. That is what Kratom does.
Yeah.
I have not been back to pain management in over 7 years now.
Thank you, Deborah.
And like I say all the time, and I apologize damn near all the time, I even say it when I'm testifying that I played a role in the opioid crisis. My addiction to the opioids, the pain pills, benzos, and muscle relaxers is why Andrew Kaladi and the government overcorrected. And now today's chronic pain patients cannot get the relief that they once had.
Yeah.
I am responsible for my
part.
But a
small part. But you do hold accountability for it, which is something that most people don't. But, yeah, I mean, and that's never been something that you've ever tried to run away from. Even though I still say it's a small part. I think it was part of a big, big picture. Did you see what she said?
Oh, what?
Deborah, she said, I love you both. We'd love you too, Deborah. You're an awesome
But
chick.
yeah, Deborah girl.
She said, I want to go get some cereal milk at the Kava Bar or in Nashville.
Oh. Yeah, she wasn't with us.
Yeah. That was so, I'm telling you, that cinnamon kava drink was literally like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yes.
Cereal milk.
Yep. I forgot what's the name of the one that I got, but mine was good as heck too.
Yeah. Man, that was I'm so glad y'all got to come that time. I mean, it did suck, but it was cool. We got to like hang out. Yeah, the Queen of 1994.
I'll probably hear it. And be like, okay, that's who that person is. You have made up for that, Misty. Trust me. I mean, you know.
I do think about that when you say that in like in your testimony. I'm like, dude, you've made up for it more than anybody else could have, you know?
Because it's what I use kratom, natural kratom. I use the plain leaf powder. That's what I use for my chronic pain relief now, and my anxiety relief, and my depression relief.
Yeah.
You know, and what I feel like the way that I could pay it forward or pay back what I did was by trying to keep kratom legal so that the next Misty can find it. Because when I found it in 2019, I had no idea that kratom was a thing on this earth.
Yeah.
I would have probably gotten out of active addiction way sooner. I probably could have saved my mom, my dad, you know?
Yep. I think about that too, and I'm like, God, this could have been life instead of fucking pill counting every month. Pill counting every month and being miserable anyway. But, you know, I think it makes us appreciate it more. Having to go through
hell. Alicia, me and you have talked about this numerous times. You know, it's like, I'm so ashamed that I brought that burden on folks that need opioids. I am too, you know, and me and you did our own like telephone therapy on this. You know, it's like, yeah, and because of the Andrew Kolodny and the Andrew Kolodnys of the world, Killer Kolodny.
Yeah, Killer Colonoscopy.
Killer Kolodny. Yeah. Killer Colonoscopy. Yep.
Yeah, shout that from the mountain castle. That's a great story.
Yeah. She's a newbie too, Dr. Heidi.
Yeah. I'm so glad she found your way here.
She reached out to me a couple years ago on TikTok, and you know, I had to let her know, you know, it's not legal. It's not legal there.
Yeah.
You know. So now that I don't know if you want to tell your story, Castle, or not, about how we connected again. I'll let you do that.
I'm so angry and deeply concerned about emergency. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm scared that it's going to spread. You know, I mean, I am. I mean, because stupid stuff like that spreads. Like, these news outlets and everything, all they do is just mimic what each other is saying. So, I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. But you're right. Like, right now is the time to get serious and advocate and use your voice.
Yeah, that's why I've had this ticker on for this long. Get Laura Romney at gmail.com. Send her your name, city, and state. And we will, you know, whenever Laura and Dr. Heidi is ready, you know, we will do a little advocacy training webinar type thing. You don't have to have your camera on. You know, you can just come in there and get some pointers about what we're going to need to do, because state legislatures are about to be on and popping again.
Yeah.
We didn't even have a break.
I know.
Normally,
I was like, oh, legislation session's over.
Normally, prior to this whole past year, normally our advocacy scheduling, like Jordan said in that video, it would only be like 15 to 20 times a year, you know, but we have been nonstop since July last year, nonstop.
I'm addicted to doom scrolling live stream TikToks.
Dude, you're over there getting lost on that.
Oh, I do. I tell you what, sometimes the stuff I see on TikTok is like only on TikTok.
Yeah.
What does it say? That's true. If 7-OH really is the same thing as kratom, banning 7-OH only products shouldn't be a problem. Just use natural kratom and get the same effects, right? If that doesn't work, then maybe that proves the point. 7-OH products and natural kratom are not the same thing. You're right, because you cannot
Exactly.
get blitz out your mind or nod off
Yeah.
like you can with a 7-OH product.
You're not spending your damn retirement money.
Yeah.
I was just so yesterday I had an interview. I'm not gonna say with who, but I was just telling that person, I was like, the amount of money that people are spending on 7-OH, they could have freaking put a down payment on the house. They could have bought brand new cars, but you got people out here spending their savings, their retirement money. 7-OH might not be killing people, but it's killing people's livelihoods. It's breaking up relationships.
Bye, Kathleen.
Bye, Kathleen.
Yeah, Jeff, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the world, for the most part, we all gravitate towards like our own people that have like close to our own values.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, you get drawn into the people that don't have those same values, but they say they do. And I mean, that's happened to me several times in my life. And I can usually tell that is that type of person. But, Jeff, I can tell you're one of the people that are in it,
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear my chair?
Yeah,
that was my chair. I was not farting. Oh. Yeah. I mean, wait. Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, nice, Bill. Oh, you just get caught up on the comments. Huh?
Yeah. I'm sorry if I don't go over each comment, but thank y'all for being here. Like I said, people that really do care and that are doing stuff is the people right here in these comments. Videos on how bad kratom is, or got hooked on how. Oh yeah, they're just doing it to get likes. They are
likes and views,
and a lot of the media is just as bad.
Yeah.
Like I've talked to and I know you probably can say the same thing, Leisha. Like you'll talk to a news journalist, like I'm not even going to say which one it was, but they reach out to me, and then when the article came out, like, really, dude, that's it, really. Like,
so my advice for anybody that's being interviewed by anyone, always record it. Record the interview. And I learned that the hard way because in December 2023, when we went to the congressional briefing thingy in DC at that time, the Washington Post guy was there, and he wanted to interview me, and I was like, well, what's this going to be about? And he framed it as, well, kratom has saved you from the opioid epidemic, that I want to, show other people that kratom, if they're, still caught up in that, epidemic or whatever, that it can help them. When he published my story, it did not go in an article like that. It did not.
And it's like one of those jaw-dropping things, like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, again, like that's all, you learn your lesson by doing and experiencing stuff. But yeah, like, and I'll forget sometimes. I'm just be like, don't forget to record it.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of people I hope that there's a lot more people that step up to see advocating, because they see that it's serious right now. Like it is serious. And
it's been serious. It's just now it's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, media is corrupted. Bye, Jeff. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah, the media is shady. I mean, they really are, for the most part. And the people that do run the good stories, you never hear about the good stories.
No.
What do you always say? Sadness or whatever sells. I can't remember what you always say. Negativity sells or something.
All press is good press.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up. But thanks to everybody for coming. I think we answered everything. I'm so glad he went over that Congress bill. Because I know there's a lot of going around about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The headlines alone. And the thing is, too, the headlines will be like, kratom killed this baby. And then you click on it, and it's like, the mom was in the car. I don't know. It's like nothing to do with Kratom, and the baby ends up being an 80-year-old man. It's like, what? It has nothing to do with anything this headline's about.
There was just another story that came out the other day about another Kratom theft in Texas, and the guy stole $200 worth of 7-OH tabs. They named the tabs in the damn article, but it's freaking on the headline.
I just don't understand how it's so difficult to understand. Pill, not Kratom. Dried up tea leaves, Kratom. It's not hard. It's literally the most simple thing in the whole wide world. I wanted to mention though, Mac was bringing up the mitragynine trial.
Yeah.
And I know somebody was going off the other day on Facebook about that, about like, oh, they've been trying to make Kratom a pharmaceutical. And my thing is like, you can buy aspirin that's FDA approved and in a bottle, but you can also still go buy willow bark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like they can't control the entire Kratom plant, because Misty asked him about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so,
and I don't care if they make it into a pharmaceutical, as long as I can still freely buy my Kratom when I want to. I don't care. Will there be trials for, mitragynine for chronic pain? That's probably going to be the next step.
Right. And if people, there's a lot of people that's like, I don't like that crusty, nasty powder. Well, then you'll have an option.
Yeah. Go get it from the doctor.
That's right.
Or you can learn how to toss and wash.
We got both goats are in the audience. We got Laura and Heidi.
Yeah, we got, we're got your thing on the ticker, and we were still talking about how we're going to do, advocacy webinar type training whenever you're down, Laura.
Yeah.
Whenever you're down.
And I think it'll be fun. I hope we have a lot of people show up. Because, I know when you first get started with advocating, it's a lot of questions and stuff. And to get to show people how easy it is to do, like, remote testimony and stuff would be cool.
Yep.
It has been serious the whole time. People have been dependent on AK. But then it's like, at the same time, some of those same people are now just going off... saying some of those same people that relied on the AK for so many years are now just talking crap.
Now the AK is the enemy, because the AKA, or specifically Matt Caddo, is calling you out on your bullshit. Now he's the enemy. I swear, not all Kratom advocates are created equal, y'all.
Facts. Yeah.
And we'll end it with that. Everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all next Saturday.
Bye, everybody.